Hey guys, Tom Barton from TomBartonSports.com here. We're continuing our series of the college basketball preseason preview, and we're going to the Mountain West here. I got my Las Vegas 51s jersey on, not an Aviators jersey on, because I used to go to Cashman Field back in the day, earn this jersey by going there. So we're going to get into the Mountain West. If you like these videos, please like it, share it. Make sure you go to Tom Barton Sports over on Twitter, but make sure you subscribe. I need those subscriptions to kind of boost myself up. So we need the subscriptions. Also, go check out TomBartonSports.com. But let's get out into the Mountain West here. Look, last year, it was kind of like four big teams, and then the conference was got a little bit shoddy. Well, this year, I think it's going to be a down year for the entire conference. You could talk about San Diego State, and they've been the Mountain West best program for years, right? They've won the most tournaments. They've actually played in the title game in 11 of the last 13 conference tournaments. You lost a legend, and it looks like, they didn't really lose a lot from that legend. The last 2 years, they are 53-7 over the last two seasons, and it's just a fantastic run that San Diego State is having. This year, I think it's a little bit of a step back. I mean, you can make an argument that 2 years ago during the shutdown, and people have, they were going to the Final Four. They were a legit team. Last year, they were a top 25 team. I just don't know if they're quite that caliber this season. Look, they lost Mitchell. They lost the top two scorers, actually, from the team last year. Now, Matt Bradley comes in, and I think Bradley can be pretty good. You look at him. He led Cal with 18 points a game. You have Manoa. He's a senior. He's returning. He's the best player on this team, but he's a little underwhelming in certain areas. And it's not necessarily that I think that San Diego State is taking a giant step backwards. I think a couple of his teams in this conference are taking a step forward. Colorado State being one of them. I'm pretty high on this team. They have a lot of upperclassmen, and if you've listened to all these and watched all of my series on the previews, I like teams that have continuity. They have a big upperclassman-laden roster, a really good coach. And that defense is going to be what they do, right? But they actually had a pretty good offense on the efficiency side last season. You look at this and you go, they're not that big. They're not going to be, the most athletic. They're not going to be the most talented. But they might be the most fundamentally sound. And in a Mountain West Conference, I do expect to come back a little bit this year. Colorado State stands out to me. They are returning, get this, 93% of the minutes on this team. That's massive. In a year where we have transfer portals, in a year where there's a massive amount of freshmen around the country, right? In a year where we're still sort of recovering from COVID and the practice, and go ask Duke and Kentucky what it was like to really have those young guys and not have practice. Colorado State has consistency, continuity, and you look around the locker room, you go, wow, it's the same guys that were here last year. You're on the floor with these guys, same guys that were there last year. I think that matters, and I think that's going to matter a lot here in the Mountain West. Talk about Nevada. Well, all five starters return as well, right, from that roster. And you have Sherfield and Cambridge. This is the classic 1-2 punch. The pick and roll efficiency is fantastic for this team. I do believe in Cambridge. I think he might be the best player in this conference, probably is the best player in this conference. I think they played last year well on the offense and well on the defense. I'm a little bit worried about their defensive efficiency this year. It's the only reason why I kind of have them going down to 3. But again, if Nevada went on a run because of their 1-2 punch, and a 1-2 punch in college basketball is huge, a 1-2 punch in a lower division, or a mid-major we'll call it, is even more so. So Nevada wouldn't shock me if they went on some kind of big run here. Boise State, it seems like Boise State every year. It doesn't matter who you have, doesn't matter the names out there. Leon Rice puts them in a position where you're going, wow, yeah, Boise State's right there. Right? I mean, they are right there. Boise State has a hard time recruiting, but they're right there. Boise State's never going to have the most talented guys, but they're right there. This year, same kind of problems. Look, they don't have the athleticism. They don't have the talent. They have a weak bench, right? Because outside their starters, it's going to get a little bit weak. But I like Shaver. I like the defense. I like the fact that we know what we're getting from this team from a defensive standpoint. And I like the idea that, you know what? I have a reliable coach, and I think that's what you can call him. Talk about the most unreliable team here, and that's UNLV. They've gone through coaches. I do radio in Las Vegas every weekend for over a decade now. We're heading into year number 12. And I've been down on the UNLV Rebels seemingly like the last 10 years. But I've been right. What I watch is a town get excited about a team that is mediocre at best and probably not even that good. They get behind a coach. I rip the coach apart. Well, here we go, another coach, but I like this hire. Okay, I like the Kruger hire. Coach O shouldn't have been hired, and then they had about 5 other guys. I like Hamilton coming back. I like Coleman coming back. I like this UNLV team. And in this conversation, it's going to seem like I don't, but I do. I think they have a good defensive player in Gilbert. I think Webster, and they have a dead. He's that guy that can hit from anywhere on the floor. Josh Baker, I think he's going to step up and be good, but this is all on Hamilton. And I fear that UNLV in year one, with a lot of new players, with a new coach, they might lean on Hamilton a little bit too much. And you're asking me to put UNLV in that upper echelon. I think UNLV is the 5th, maybe the 6th best team in this conference. If all goes right for them, they might be the 4th, maybe even crack top 3. But I hear UNLV fans talking about Hamilton and Kruger and that combination and going, well, they could be number 1. I don't see that. I do see a lot of games where you're going to look at UNLV and go, that night, right there, they can beat just about anybody. And then you're going to have a night, 2 nights later, 3 nights later, where you go, ooh, what happened? They fell apart. A lot of inconsistency, especially early around. Maybe when they get into Mountain West Conference play, they could kind of have a little bit of continuity. Let's talk about Utah State. A replacement at the helm here. UMBC from the American East. That's where this guy's going. He's an analytics guy, right? The organizations in baseball are taking analytics guys up front. We know that in the NFL, they're going to analytics. Well, college basketball is going that way as well. And he is a pure analytics guy. The Retrievers, that's UMBC out there, they had good efficiency. When they shot the ball, they shot it well. But they couldn't get big under the basket. They didn't play the biggest defense. I think this team could shock people, but it might take some time. Are they going to be ready and gelled by the time the Mountain West Conference tournament is ready to go? I'm not sure. Fresno State, 10 new players last year because of COVID and restrictions and all of that. They went 1-7 against San Diego State, Utah State, Boise State, Colorado State. And then all of a sudden, they cleaned up on the Air Forces, the San Jose States, and the New Mexicos of the world. And you go, oh, yeah, well, it looks good. All right, they're middle of the pack. I mean, can you have a better definition of exactly what middle of the pack is? This is middle of the pack. And I think that they're going to be there again. Their defense should be good, and we've been saying for years that defense is going to be good. Look, they're a middle pack team. This is who they are. 6, 7, 8. This is where they live, and nothing tells me that they could go out there and beat the big boys, and nothing tells me that they're going to fall off the map and lose to the New Mexicos of the world. How about Wyoming? Look, this is just, you ask me about Wyoming, shoot the 3 and protect the 3. That's all it is. This is an outside game. They want to shoot all day long. They are the 9th highest rate in America for long distance balls. This is what they do. They want the opportunities. They want to limit the opportunities on the other side. And they're playing the analytical game, right? 3 for the 2, the 3 for the 2. That's what they want to do. They do have size and they have a little bit of speed, but I think that this is a team that lives and dies by the 3. And I've watched teams for years live and die by the 3. Most of the time you die by the 3. New Mexico, I think I could confidently say it was the worst team I've ever watched on a consistent basis last year. They were awful. I mean, god awful. So, out with the old, in with the new, but what's been left, right? I mean, they missed parts of the season last year. It was awful. The grind, it was, the Lobos are going to be improved just because you have to be. If me and four dudes played a pickup game, we'd be improved from what they were last year. But how much improvement? Maybe to get them out of the basement. It's a total rebuild there. You go to San Jose State, new coach, new excitement level, defensive intensity is going to be there. They just don't have the players right now. And then you go to Air Force. It's going to be defense, right? They're kind of chalking their bad season up. Oh, well, you know what? It's going to be because of COVID. Nah, not really. This is a team that they have a high turnover rate. Their defense is going to be efficient. They don't have the players. You want to swap San Jose State, New Mexico, and Air Force, that's okay, but they're clearly the bottom 3 teams. So I go back to the top and I go, okay, who's making the tournament? I think the line is cut off. I think San Diego State should be good enough to make the tournament. I have Colorado State winning this conference, by the way, and you're getting a pretty decent price back on them if you want to go out there and throw a bet down, 5-1, 6-1 to win this conference. I've seen it as high as 10-1, pretty good. So I got Colorado State and San Diego State both going to the tournament. I think this depends on Nevada and Boise. I don't think UNLV is going to be good enough to make the tournament. They'll be one of those, a week to go, 2 weeks to go. You're going to hear Rebels fans going, maybe we have a chance. And I think that's going to be Boise State, who I think will have a good team. but they're going to need some conference wins in the Mountain West Conference tournament that I don't think they're going to get. So Nevada is that team. Do they get 3 teams in? And Nevada, like I said, they have all the elements to go out there and to kind of surprise some people, and it wouldn't even be that big of a surprise for some people. I think the Mountain West as a whole is down, but the top is pretty good. I'm going to say Boise State gets left out. I'm going to say UNLV gets left out. Nevada is the team that I'm on the fence with. I'm taking Colorado State to win it all. I think they do probably get 3 bids, certainly 2. I think San Diego State and Colorado State both go to the tournament. All right, guys, if you like this video, again, like, subscribe, share. Please, we could use the subscriptions. It is Tom Barton Sports over on Twitter and TomBartonSports.com. Have a good season, everybody. Enjoy it.